Those who ask me about sobriety expect to hear how beautiful it is, but those who ask about the process are never prepared for my response. They want to hear that temptation has been terminated, that I'm optimistic about my future, that I'm less depressed because I'm feeling forcible when alcohol made me fragile. But those without the sickness so many of us share will never understand that we must take a pill every day to ease the symptoms, yet still face our disease. That we know we will never be cured, but our ailments can be alleviated. Sobriety is not the stuffed monkey you win by knocking over milk bottles at the carnival. It is more like the ride that catapults you thousands of feet into the air and could drop you at any moment. The ride that some people watch from the ground because they are afraid of heights. It is the roller coaster I never wanted to experience because I see and feel everything as it comes and no longer possess anything to ease the anxiety of the turns or the wind stinging my face. I feel like my seatbelt could unfasten at any moment and I could be propelled into the nearest tree, torn to shreds like the carcass of a lion's freshest kill. Can't you just come out to watch the show? No, I can't, because instead of watching the show, I will be watching every person around me picking their flavor of poison and putting it to their lips as if they needed it to breathe. And it takes me back to the nights where I was infatuated with the only thing that ever loved me and didn't walk away. Can't you have just one or two? No, because one or two takes me back to the first time I tried to tame the beast. Someone handed me a drink, and one drink turned into 6 hours worth, which turned into my body on the bathroom floor. I began to purge and shake and purge some more, and when I realized what I'd done, I was reminded that my sword wasn't sharp enough to win the battle. The monster was too colossal, and I was inconsequential, as if I were a single drop of rain within the storm of my struggling. I don't want to go back into the fog now that it is lifting. When they ask me why I won't listen, it's because they don't realize that even hearing its name is enough to make my heart stir, as if my long-awaited bride was promenading toward me in a gown made of satin or silk. They say they miss me, but don't comprehend that the devil they are dancing with before me is the same one that tried to steal me. Every night he takes me by the hand, spins me around the ballroom floor, and dips me into darkness, and I must fight to keep the lights on because it depreciates his performance. He is dressed like everything I want and whispers everything I was promised, and he knows if I give in this time, I would never return to life on Earth. Instead, I'd exist on a planet where every building is titanium and the walls are soundproof to keep my screaming silent, where every path leads to nowhere and I spend my nights in dark alleys with no streetlights or stars to lead me home. I would always take 1 step forward and 2 steps back, fantasizing about a finish line I'd never cross because my muscles would atrophy as quickly as they amplified. While you're asking me about sobriety, I will tell you the truth, because truthfully, I'm not a liar. I'm still awake until the sun comes up, and it's because I am terrified of the dark. When I tell you that I'm tired, I really mean I'm exhausted. I still have shackles on my wrists and a paperweight on my chest, and sometimes they are heavy enough to keep me down for days. Beyond the comfort of my bed, temptation spreads like wildfire, and I cannot walk in any direction without getting blistered and remembering how cold the water felt on my wounds. Every day I cross the path of my ghost, and she reminds me that it hasn't been long since I killed her, that it hasn't been long since she continuously found herself at the river to baptize her flesh in the only truth she had ever known. Alcohol gave her wings, but then took away the sky, and once she attempted to soar, the world reminded her that there was no destination in sight, and that she couldn't have a limitless life with an inexhaustible promise. When I feel like indulging in the forbidden fruit, I remind myself that addiction is like the serpent in the garden. It creeps in silently and then all at once, and constricts you until it is too late and you become lifeless. I remind myself that if I was able to escape in the first place, I better keep sprinting in the opposite direction before it catches up to me. I must put myself first and everyone else second, and when they call me selfish, I must remind them that if I am not selfish in my sobriety, I will never stay sober. When they tell me what I am, I'll tell them I'd rather be more bold than brackish and more spry than sedentary. I will tell them that the person they knew is gone and the person I'm becoming will be better, but it will take a lot of uphill clawing to get there, and sometimes my limbs will grow weary. I will tell them that if they can't give me a push or remind me why I started, they are not worthy of watching my journey. They will mourn my death, but will not praise my rebirth. And when they see me on the mountain, they will never speculate how beautiful the view could have been from the top. They will only see what I look like standing on it from the valley. And I will never look back, because the rearview mirror is smaller than the windshield. And it's no secret that the things reflected there are closer than they appear. Thank you.